The Magicians Podcast is brought to you in proud association with the Magic Circle, Alakazam Magic, and Gigio.
It's a double bill week, so you're being spoilt with a Brucey bonus. In my hot seat is Bruce Smith from Marvin's Magic.
Come on. Hey, yo, it's my life, my time, my rights, my rhymes, my grind, my struggle, hustle, sweat in my blood too. I'm ready to smell fear, I smell a lot. My competitors fled scared, cause they smelled I was hot. I want it all, excess, the sex, much success, stress us. I want it all, no less, so come on.
Hello my friends, welcome to this very special double bill week here on the Magicians Podcast. I hope you are well. My name is Richard Young and I appreciate you pressing the download button on this episode, but please don't forget to do the same thing on the other brand new episode on the feed today. It is episode 59 with Sharky and Long, Darren Brown's co-writers. This episode with Bruce Smith is episode 60, which marks the halfway point of season 3, so we will be taking a mid-season break while I get back on the road to record some new interviews for you with some top guests. When will we be back? Well, that's why you need to be connected with us on social media. We are on Twitter at Magician Podcast, or you can give our Facebook page a like to keep in touch. That is facebook.com/Magicians Podcast. The information about our return in the coming weeks will of course be posted on our social media pages. I'm going to be very busy over the next 2 weeks. We're going back on the road with the Champions of Magic show. I hope you will consider popping out to see our show. We're going to 15 different cities throughout the UK over the next 15 days. It starts tomorrow, the 26th of March, and runs until the 10th of April. If you're in Tunbridge Wells, Buxton, Preston, Lancaster, London, Lincoln, Wellingborough, Manchester, High Wycombe, Poole, Billingham, Hereford, Chelmsford, Guildford or Lowestoft, then we are very near to you over the next 2 weeks. It's a really fun show. It has a bit of everything. Faye Presto is in the show doing what she does best. Alex McAleer's doing the mind reading. Edward Hilsom's doing his incredible dove act. And myself and Strange will be providing the big spectacular illusions and a ton of pyrotechnics. I hope you will consider coming out. It would be lovely to meet a few podcast listeners after the show. So this week I am speaking to Bruce Smith. He is a cornerstone of the Marvin's Magic empire. He has been there since day one. In fact, he's been there since before day one. The full story will be covered over the next 60 minutes. So sit back, relax, put your feet up, unless you're driving, and enjoy an hour in the company of Mr. Bruce Smith from Marvin's Magic.
Hey, yo, it's my life, my time, my rights, my rhymes, my grind, my struggle, hustle.
It's always lovely to sit with a fellow retailer. That's my background, Bruce.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I used to work for Comet. Do you remember the electrical shop?
Yeah, of course.
Used to work for them.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how I'm going to start this interview. You won't remember this, but about 15 years ago, you interviewed me for Hamleys demonstrator, and you offered me the job. Actually.
Did I?
You did. I couldn't do it because I lived in Oxford and it was going to be a bit difficult to...
Tough to commute.
Yeah, it was going to be a long commute, but yeah, I did.
I'm glad I offered you the job. That's a relief.
You did, and I demmed the drawing board for you, and you were impressed, and you were like, have you ever seen this before? And I went, no, just playing with it. It was a lie. I'd watched you on QVC demonstrating it, so I knew a little bit about...
Glorious QVC.
Yeah, a little bit about what could be done with it. This is hopefully going to be a great episode, very different from any other episode we've ever done, because... you've had a completely unique career as far as I can tell. I don't know anyone else who's had the length of career that you have working in there.
It wasn't planned to be 30 years. I must admit, I don't know where the time's gone, but it's such a great job.
Did you have a plan?
No, I don't have a plan. If you've got an idea, that'd be brilliant. I love good ideas. When I've always been a case of Bruce, do this, even magic shows. I was thinking I used to do a show a week. I'd be off doing, the rough areas of Minehead, which is really bleak. It's worse than Bradford.
That's where you're from,
Worse than Bradford. It's awful. So you'd be at the Women's Institute or a cake baking circle or something. Oh, no, very gentle, very serene. And I used to do gigs, children's parties, but I'd always be asked to do these things. I loved magic. I loved watching Paul Daniels, and my dad was passionate about magic, associate of the Magic Circle, but he used to be able to get me to all the conventions, Bristol Day of Magic, Supreme, Western-super-Mare, all these sort of things. I loved it. And I always loved but my favourite magicians were always the demonstrators. Love watching Bob Little and Art Emerson, all these people I thought were amazing. But I didn't know what I wanted. I left school. Oh, my careers advice, which haunts me to this day. No, winds me up. I'm not a big fan of schools. I'm not a big fan. They all seem to know better than you. They seem better now than they were, but the schools, the careers advice was, Bruce, you can't do magic when you leave school. What have you got planned? And I'm off doing engineering at Taunton Tech. I knew nothing about engineering. I knew nothing about a motor car. Why they thought it was a good idea for somebody who knew nothing about engineering or could do maths or anything to do that. But they seemed happy for me to do a rubbish, useless thing. Surely it would have been better business studies or English or something useful, but there's a Butlins round the corner. Send me there, It was,
Redcoat.
Well, Redcoat. And I did that as well when I was 18. Best 10 weeks ever. You learn so much in those 10 weeks. Amazing. Go and do redcoating. It's incredible because you can do anything. And they encourage you. They want you to perform. And then we had a carpet shop. And even the carpet shop we called the Magic Carpet because, everybody wanted me to do magic from a very, very, very young age. I remember my mum and dad, everybody would come to our house. We've got a big house in Minehead, and everybody would come in. You'd have, my dad used to make cakes, people come in buying cakes, people buying honey, dad kept bees, all sorts of people come to the house. And on the wall, we got pictures of my family. So there's big brother, big sisters, all on the wall, 5 of us on the wall, big portrait-sized photographs of us when we were about 18 months old. And I got my hands up like this. And my mum and dad, religiously, every single time, people would always ask, it'd be the talking point, mum and dad would go through the pictures. And every time they got to me, they'd say, well, there's Bruce on the end. You can see he's going to be a magician. Every time. So from when I can remember, it's always been, he's going to be a magician. So that's what I ended up doing because that's what I do. People like it when I do it, it seems. They seemed happy to watch.
But you're the best at it, aren't you? Let's be honest, you are the best.
No, but
Well, it's probably best you don't say it, but everybody knows you're the best.
I don't see that. I don't see. I'm so full of self-doubt in what I do. I am my own worst enemy. Everybody tells me this, and for years everybody's told me this, and I've got to believe it. But you don't really. I don't see what other people see in what I do. I don't see what I'm just getting through the trick the best way I can, and you've got to stand up, you've got to have your shoulders back, you've got to make eye contact. Your eye contact's better than mine. You've not stopped looking at me. I'm looking everywhere but avoiding your eyes. I'm looking at the bottle of water over here. Anything
that's
but
a
looking
pretty
in the eyes.
normal thing that happens in these podcasts actually, Bruce, is that obviously we press record and then suddenly people make eye contact with me, and it's a bit awkward at the beginning, but they get used to it after a few minutes. So hopefully you will too.
Yeah, you've got to make eye contact. You've got to. But all these. But it's more about the body language and the open body language that you have to do, and there's so much to doing a magic trick, and you're doing something in Hamleys, and you've got to do it brilliantly every single time. You can't do it half-heartedly, because you're going to let that person down. You can't let that person down. Mm-hmm. And you've got to be able to close the sale unless you do it to the best of your ability every time. Now, if you're doing an hour's gig or a 2-hour gig, a show, I'm doing an 8-hour gig.
So, tell me about how you first got into Deming. When was your first job? Because I know that you've done it so long. You're pre-Marvin's Magic, aren't you?
There was an advert in the Western Daily Press for a magician. I didn't see it. Friends saw it, and they came. So this is how much everybody knew I liked magic, and I was going to do magic. Friends of my family, they came in and they saw, we've just seen just the job for Bruce, just the job. We've seen it in the newspaper. They want a magician in Bath. Hamleys are opening up a new store in Bath. Wow. So there you go. It's in the West. It's in yesterday's newspaper. All right. So Dad says, do you want to do it? And I says, yeah, too true. It's the only thing I've ever knew I wanted to do. I could picture it in my head instantly, me demonstrating the magic in Bath. So I went and got the newspaper, newsagent was opposite, went through it, and I phoned them up. I phoned up Bath. And then Bath told me to phone Hamleys London, and then Hamleys London told me to phone Hamleys Bath again.
Classic retailers.
Yeah, it's like,
Brilliant.
Brilliant, they've not changed. And then I went up for the job interview. Now, as I went up for the job interview, I went up to Bath, but I was aiming Freespawn. Now, to go so I'm taking a real dog leg, and I got off at the station at Bath, and I said, I'm just going for a job interview up at Hamleys. Oh, yeah, no problem. They just let me through. Didn't have to be an extra. They let me get back off the train. Very, very good, very kind. Got the job, but people, I've interviewed people for the last 30 years for jobs interview, and nobody's job interview was as good as mine. Nobody was as amazing, because I knew what the job is. The job is getting a crowd. The job is making people watch. Yeah, you've got to make them watch. If they don't watch, there's no point doing it. If you haven't got a load of people watching, as many people as you can watching, if you're doing close-up, it's no good having 2 or 3 people. Get everybody watching you. How impressed is the booker going to be? That's what people want. People want to be impressed, and size counts. Size is important. How many people? How big are your awards? How much money do you earn? It's all important. So they were decorating Hamleys. Hamleys was a workshop. Hamleys was painting, decorating. Right in the middle of it, there was Mr. Durant with a great big mahogany table, sat behind the table, first floor. I go up, hello, I'm Bruce, I come here for the job interview. Chat, did my tricks like everybody else does when they come for a job interview for me. But when I finished, all the painters, all the decorators stopped doing what they're doing, and they're all watching me as well. Because I knew that was the job, that was what you had to do. You had to get as many people as you can to watch you doing your demonstration. Then I went off to the rest of the convention, and it's brilliant because it was at the convention. Bob Little, he was at the convention. First 3 years of demonstrating, I just did Bob Little. I am the whiz, the best there is. I'm doing it today, you could be doing it tomorrow. That'd be my clothes for the tricks, But because I'd seen these people, and I was doing the job that week, it's brilliant. Art Emerson, brilliant, funny man. You give me £10, I'll give you £3 change. That's the way it works. Funny people, clever people, be able to get a crowd, create that interest. Absolutely brilliant. Real inspiration for anybody watching. I used to like it. I used to watch the Dealer Dems. Best show where they were all up on stage at 9 a.m. doing their Dealer Dems. Some of them were awful, but I remember, who was it? Repro Magic doing the dancing gladioli. Oh, hysterical. Funny people. But they just didn't care. They just did the job, got everybody excited, and then they sold their stuff. I could do that. I thought I could do that. And I went to Bath, and it's brilliant because I could do that because nobody else was. Nobody else was doing it. I was working for Hamleys. I had a small section. I had kids coming in. Ben Woodward. Do you know Ben Woodward?
No, I don't know that.
Oh, top magician. Really good. He came in 13 and now he's a professional magician. Worked with Peter Clifford. He was my Saturday Dem, and we worked together. But it was good fun days. And then I saw my job being advertised for a magician for Bath, and then I had to apply again for my own job, and it was Marvin's Magic. So I'm in the Bath Magic Circle. I'm going, who's Marvin? Does anybody know Marvin? Nobody knew who Marvin was. David Burglass, I didn't even know David had a son. Amazing. Who is this? What's happening? What's going on? So a lot of intrigue, a lot of interest. I went for a meal with Marvin, met him at the convention, Magic Convention, had dinner with him, got the job, thank goodness, and did magic in Hamleys, Bath, demonstrating Marvin's magic. And it changed the ball game. It changed it from being, this is nice, into being far more structured, far more about the brand, far more about how much more there is than just doing a few tricks, how you can make everything so much more impressive, how you can make everything so much more amazing with good marketing. I remember one of my favourite tricks is the upside down bottle. Take a bottle of water, turn it upside down, take the cocktail sticks, goes up inside the bottle. Yes. Brilliant trick. So I'm in Hamleys. Lady goes, oh, what's this anti-gravity? And I explained what the trick was. And she goes, oh, can you show me? And I said, what? I don't have any bottles. And she opens her bag reaches in the bag, and she takes out an empty bottle of Schweppes. Who carries around with them an empty bottle of Schweppes? And she goes, off you go and fill it with water. So I filled it with water, and I did the trick. Never done it before in my life. I'd seen it. I've seen the props in the box. I've seen it performed. Never done it. We're at first time. And she bought it, thank goodness. And I'm damming that all the time now, working out a nice routine for it, to getting the steel and doing all the moves and taking the cocktail sticks and how do I steal it off without being caught, come around the front, all the body language. And Marvin's going, you're selling more of these than anybody else. How are you doing? What are you doing? Steel ball and tube. That's another one Marvin sent me. So it's brilliant because it's really good, because if you're looking for tricks, you've got all these books to choose from. Oh, which one do I do? Which one do I do? Let's do an ambitious card routine, because they're doing ambitious card routine. Let's do this, because I've seen so-and-so do it. I'll do the same. We're all inspired, we're all influenced by people we see. But in what I do, I'm not influenced. I've got to do that. There's steel ball and tube on the shelf. What does this do? I had seen it done at a Wizard weekend up in Birmingham. The fella did steel ball and tube, so I knew he could be. So you can do more with it than just making the ball go up and down. So I did a few French drop moves with it and hand out for examination. And we got a good reaction, and sort of developed my routine. And you don't know about steel ball and tube? No, Ali Bongo.
Yeah, no, I do, because as I mentioned earlier, I spent many hours watching you and Marvin on QVC when I was a kid.
Ah.
In fact, I'm probably the only person in history who has recorded the Home Shopping Channel and watched it again.
Wow.
Because I loved it. And I didn't realise at the time how... Yeah, I loved the magic. I didn't realise actually the demonstration, how powerful it was as a child. You don't realise you're being sold to, do you? You're just watching the magic.
QVC was an odd one, because if you're... Because you've done TV and stuff in any case, but for me, it's a two-hour show, live show, which is exhausting. So I've done more live television than anybody.
I was going to say, I bet you have, yeah.
Done more live television than Dynamo, done more live television than, Magic. I know it's the dynamic coins, but it doesn't matter what it is.
Well, you'd be on there like every couple of weeks, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Marc Paul did them before me, and there was a magician before Marc Paul, but then when Marc Paul finished, I took up the mantle and did it for Marvin. But you've got cameras, obviously, but you've got your two television doing what the live feed is, what the people at home are saying, and you also got your TV of what to show you what's happening, to show you what the next thing is going to be. Mm-hmm. But if you're doing the floating match, you've got to angle it so you can see. So you tend to watch the trick, watching the TV to get the right angles, because the camera doesn't know where to point, because you've not directed, there's no rehearsal time or anything before the show. So you're angling it all to get in the right position. Marvin would be kicking me under the stand, hurry up. You'd be doing a routine. Marvin would be kicking you under the stand. Come on, Bruce, hurry up.
This is brilliant. We're going to get a lot more information about abuse of staff. This will be brilliant if we can get...
Right. More abuse.
This is amazing, actually. While you're talking about the floating match, I remember you fooling me with it, because what I used to do when I was a kid, for my birthday, my mum and dad would go, what do you want to do? And I would say, I would like to go to London, please, to go to Hamleys, to go and see Marvin's Magic. So that's what I used to do on my birthday. And as I got a little bit older, I used to go to... Yeah, I used to
Don't do this to me, guys.
Yeah.
This is too much.
Yeah,
right.
And then as I got older, I used to go to International Magic and other magic shops.
Let's go there. I've not been for ages.
But I remember walking in and seeing you demming the floating match, and I bought it the birthday before. And you fooled me with it because you put a ring over it.
My wedding ring. And
it doesn't tell you how to do that in the instructions.
Just do it.
And I remember you saying that to me. I said, I don't understand. I have that trick. How did you put a ring over it? And that's exactly what you said. You said, you just do it. And I was like, how can it work? And I remember getting home and putting the ring over, and sure enough, it does. It just works, doesn't it?
It's better if it's a round... I have lost my wedding ring, I'll lose everything. If my wedding ring is round... Obviously, it's round, but it's round like a linking ring. It's round on that side as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah? So you can go through the threads. You want it about... When I do it, I want to be at 45 degrees to the threads and have it nearer the card than nearer the match. But Bobby Bernard was fooled by it as well. He goes, how do you do that? How do you do that? Yeah. He came over and he goes, what, huh, who? So
It's an amazing piece of magic. In fact, I remember...
I love the floating
because
match.
you had the secret box of tricks, I think it was called. Do you remember?
Yeah.
That's
Empty
what I
box full of
bought.
magic.
And it was in there, and I remember that also in it... What's the trick called with the little spring and the ring that you have to twist to get off?
Spring and ring. No
Spring
idea.
and ring? I don't know what it's called, yeah. But you can use that little ring to go over the floating match on the card. That's what I used to use when I was a kid. High five
Genius.
from Bruce. High five from
Genius.
Bruce. Oh, 'cause you're a kid.
Wish I thought of that. Oh, I'm jealous now. I want to start that set again.
It's brilliant. So you've been there 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
What's it been like working for Marvin for the last 25 plus?
What's it like working for Marvin?
Yeah.
But I don't work for Marvin.
You don't?
That's
do
the
you
thing.
not see him much?
I feel I work more for Hamleys than I do for I did a thing at the Magic Circle a few years back, and they go, you represent Marvin's magic, and that really took me, because I'm like, I don't think I work for Marvin. I like the independence that the Marvin's gives you from Hamleys. I like that they were a bit aloof from Hamleys, and you're a bit more, you can be your own people in Hamleys and be creative. I love being creative, but I don't feel I feel I work for the customer. Yeah, because I know what it's like when you came in. Yeah, and I was the same when I came in, by my friends from Hamleys.
How many times do you reckon you've done dynamic coins?
Twice. It was a Monday, both times. People have asked me this. My mate Hamid said I should write in for the Guinness Book of Records as doing the most magic shows than anybody's ever done. You discover so much about magic in that one trick. That one trick is such strong, and it fools everybody. I don't understand why. Problem is with the dynamic coins, when I first saw it done, it didn't fool me. You know, because I was used to shell coins. I was used to, all these sort of props. And it was later on that I saw the dynamic coins done, and I'm like, all right. But nobody knows how. I think it does more than fool people. I think people don't know how it's done, which I think is different. I think there is this element of magic that's easily obtained doing the dynamic coins, because you make money appear. And I think it's a bit like the Miser's Dream. If you make money appear, it's not. That's magic. That's not. I fooled you. I've made money appear. I think that's a different feel to it, a different illusion. And then you do all the routine with it, see, because people want that, because that's what it does. People ain't going to buy it. People who have not done magic before, they need to have some sort of idea of value of what something is. So if we were selling an invisible deck or something, only does one trick. Miracle, doesn't matter. How many tricks to do? One. You can paddle out to 2 routines, 3 routines, maybe, but it does one trick. Customer doesn't want that. That's why customer wants Svens. They want Svengali cards because it does 20 tricks, 50 tricks. Look at what you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. Why, look at this, it's brilliant. Look at this, it's brilliant. So if you've never done magic before, they've got to have some perception of what the value is in that prop. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that is so important what you're selling, because people buying into 4 things. They want it to be the best. Everybody wants the best. I've seen the people you interviewed. I've seen your list. I was running through it, and I'm like, and me. Okay, what is going on here? And then people want the best. They want value for money. But people have got no concept of what magic is worth. A pack of cards is 50p. That's why it's really difficult to sell a stripper deck, because there's no idea of how good a stripper deck is or the value of it. Yeah? So people want the best value for money. It's got to be suitable. Well, I can let them have a go. They can do it in seconds. I can do it in the demonstration. You try it. Wow, you're a magician. And that feeling of being able to do something amazing, that's unique. Must never forget that. That's amazing. Best value for money, suitable and different. People who are coming into Hamleys looking for something different. If they can get it around the corner, there's no point doing it. So people always, and nobody's coming into Hamleys to buy magic. Nobody comes in to buy magic.
Yeah.
And yet, that set, the sets we do, is one of the top selling toys in the whole store. Against Lego, Barbie, Playmobil, list is endless. Hornby, big multi-million pound companies got billion-pound budgets on the television, but with a few well-placed demonstrators and good script, my experience that I can feed on to people, hopefully they take notice. It's very difficult to teach people to It's like a fly. You ever had that in a sitting room? A fly, and the fly's hitting the window, and it knows it wants to go through the window. You'll open the window, and you still can't get the fly to go through the window, to go through the hole. You're helping it. People don't want help. They really don't. They really resist any help. It's mad.
As I mentioned, you are talking to a fellow retailer. Let's talk about rude customers. They're unbelievable sometimes, aren't they? Have you got some good stories?
Rude customers?
Yeah. I mean, it can't be easy, you trying to stop people.
No, I'm suicidal. It's I've been off leave twice with sick leave, with stress. I've walked out. Worst story. I was tired. Christmas. Thursday before Christmas. And I'm on the stand. I just had lunch, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a mellow person. I'm quite a mellow. Hi guys, take it easy. And kids come over. Goes, oh, have you got a pen we can borrow? Sorry. Yeah, have you got a pen we can borrow? No. Sorry guys. Speak to the people at the tills. They might have a pen. That was it. Yeah. And then this guy starts picking on me. Starts going, oh, you should change your attitude. If you don't change your attitude, I'm going to change it for you. Fuck you know. Yeah, no. Bloody hell. Big guy. And I said, sorry? Yeah, if you don't change your attitude, well, you know, give me all this. I'm going to change your attitude for you. What? Yeah, you heard. Blimey, O'Reilly. So I went and called security. What else could I do? Because I'm at the front of the store, security guard's only there. And he comes back, and I'm like, this guy's threatening me. You know, what do I do? I can't just stand here and he's threatening me. So he goes, well, do you know who it is, Bruce? I know, I don't care. Fuck yes, he's threatening me. And it was the world champion heavyweight boxer of the world. One with a tattoo on his back. Chris Eubank? No, not Chris Eubank, the other one.
David Hay?
No, a long time ago now. But you're like, why? What? You know, amazing.
That's a great story.
Well, it's not. I went home crying. I tell you, I was bad that day.
The opposite of that is Michael Jackson came to the store. And I've heard, because I'm a broadcast journalist,
yes,
that he asked for you. Is that true?
He used to come and I did magic for him first time because he was coming into the store, and Hamleys you can't believe how big, well, Michael Jackson is still big, but how Michael Jackson mania all over London. Everywhere you went, it's posters of London. We had lookalikes coming into Hamleys just to have their photographs taken for the press, and security were throwing him out again. It was bonkers. All the staff are going, oh, Bruce is going to come in and see you. This is 1988, doing the Bad tour, and he comes in and I get called to our head office, and they go, Bruce, yes, yeah. Can you stay tonight in case Michael Jackson might come in tonight? Can you stay behind, do some magic for him? Yeah, no problem. I like the Clash. I like sort of punk music and stuff, so you know, it didn't worry me either way. So 6 o'clock they go, Bruce, you're not needed, you go home, no problem. Next day, all the managers are so smug, saying, oh, Michael Jackson was in, oh, we saw Michael Jackson. All right, no problem. And then they go, 4 o'clock, Bruce, yes, can you stay behind tonight? I'm going over to the head office to see the gurus, to see the gods. Can you stay behind tonight? Because Michael Jackson's coming back, but this time he just wants to see the magic. And I'm like, oh, shit. Because even though, you know, his music's nice, great, listen on radio, but he's God. He is, you know, who's famous? Gorbachev was around then. Who's Gorbachev? You know, these people are gone. Margaret Thatcher, you know, she's gone. And Michael Jackson is Michael Jackson. And he wanted to see some magic. And I'm like, oh, crikey. So I tidied up the stand because it was a mess. I had a big glass cabinet. So I tidied that up. I'm waiting on the stand, and Hamleys are brilliant because they've asked staff if they want to stay behind and do a bit of overtime. Do you want to do some overtime? So I'm going around all the staff going, yes, because I wasn't allowed to tell anybody, couldn't tell Marvin, couldn't tell anyone. Top secret, no cameras, all the security cameras had to be turned off, so no video was allowed. And they were brilliant because Hamleys staff were there, about 30 Hamleys staff, there were row of management, and then Michael Jackson comes in through the security doors back of the store, and I'm facing the front of the store, and he looks at the glass cabinet, he goes, oh, they've tidied this up. And I did some magic. I spent an hour with him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did he buy anything?
Bought everything. And I'm going through the prices. I'm saying, this is £2.99, £3, and I'd have to tell you the prices and stuff. And I'm just doing the job best way I could. He enjoyed it. Everybody had a good evening. And then the next day, the newspapers were, because he was at Wembley, so the front page of the newspapers were from Toy Store Conjurer to Wembley Wizard.
Oh, wow.
So that was nice. So I got all those sort of cuttings and things at home. But and then after that, he when he came in 7 times I saw him, he'd ask for me by name.
Wow.
So the thing was, Hamleys would get the call as soon as he landed in the country. All his minions would go around because he'd want to see HMV, go to HMV store as well. So the same sort of thing would happen there. But they'd ask for me, can Bruce stay back tonight and do some magic for Michael Jackson? So I had to stay behind, do some magic, and he came in with a great big camera crew. I'd love to see the video, me doing magic for Michael Jackson. But what would happen is they go, Hamleys go, we need some jugglers, we need this, but I try to keep it all Marvin's magic. So I get Justin to do juggling, we'll get John Danbury. So the more Marvin's magic people here, we can keep away from Hamleys. We'll keep it ours because I'm quite clingy. And I leant over, and he leans over. He goes, I remember you. He says to me like this, and I didn't know what do you say to that. And I says, yes, and I remember you. But what do you say? But I do magic for him, and John Danbury says, I said Michael Jackson should practice his magic. I don't think he needs to practice. I think he could have got it quite quickly. But I used to teach him the tricks, and he used to teach him, and then he'd show me what he'd practiced and what he learnt, and then show me the moves. Floating match. I showed him the floating match. And have you got anything that levitates? Yeah, I showed him the floating match. He goes, oh, that's really, really good. Oh, I like that. Yeah, can I do this in candlelight? How do you do the ring? Yeah, I do the ring like this. Oh, okay, brilliant. Yeah, good. Show me again. Oh, that's really nice. I like that. Good. And then all of a sudden, everything sort of kicked off. All the bodyguards all talking down their sleeves, and outside there's about 500 Michael Jackson on the ground floor. There's newspapers, like Nick says, newspaper all over wrapping paper, Hamleys wrapping paper all over the doors, and they're having to get him out of the store. So all the security guards all in, it's all rehearsed how they move him around, and he's against the wall, and everybody's just about to leave. And then he goes like this to me, waves his finger at me, and I trot over. Just one more time with this floating match. When do you put the match on? How do you... And I'm like, you're about to leave the store, you're going to get mugged by 500 fans, and you're worried about a floating match. I thought that's really sweet. He likes... But I couldn't... I never asked him why he wanted to see me do the magic. I thought it was safer not to be honest, but it's always been curious because he did music for Siegfried and Roy. He knows Siegfried and Roy, and then he comes to Hamleys specifically. So I'm always no, because you're brilliant, Bruce, is what you're supposed to say. I'm feeding you the line here. Yeah. But I'm always like,
well, we did say you were the best, didn't we?
I know, but it's always. I'm not arguing. I'm not dissing it, but it was I couldn't sleep. That first time, you just couldn't sleep. It was like going through your head because everywhere you went, it's Michael Jackson posters. And you're like, that's the man that everybody wants to speak to. And I've just spent an hour with him. All these people who want to do interviews are not doing it with Michael Jackson. I spent an hour just doing magic tricks. just doing what we like doing. Amazing.
The Magicians Podcast brought to you in association with the Magic Circle, the world's premier magical society. Are you ready to join the world's most exclusive magic club? Visit themagiccircle.co.uk to find out more.
Gigi-O, free for 30 days. Be a pro, get Gigi-O.
All the top professionals use Gigi-O. It will save you hours in the office every single week. It generates PDF contracts and invoices. It tracks your payments. It will even update the diary on your phone automatically. It calculates mileage, and you can even schedule emails to be sent to your client on a specific time and date of your choosing. There is a free 30-day trial awaiting you right now at gigio.co.uk. That's Gigio spelled Gigio.co.uk. Go there right now. You'll thank me, I promise.
Whether you're new to magic or a seasoned professional, Alakazam Magic are here to help. Alakazam have been supplying magic to magicians for well over 20 years. Not only do we carry all the latest and greatest magic tricks, books and DVDs, but we also manufacture one of the finest ranges of magic tricks in the world. The Alakazam name is synonymous with great customer service, educated advice and honesty. So if you're shopping for new magic, make sure you check out our website, www.alakazam.co.uk, or pay a visit to our fully stocked shop.
We've got to talk about some of the people that have worked for Marvin's Magic, because it really is a who's who, and you've worked with all of them obviously over the time. You've got a list here as well.
It's very weird, yes.
Which is amazing. And one of the names which I didn't know, perhaps you could explain the story. David Williamson's on the list.
Dave Williamson, Marvin for a short time did because I love Rocky Raccoon. Love Rocky Raccoon. When I was in the States, I got a Rocky Raccoon. Stephen Mulhern gave me his Rocky Raccoon because Stephen worked for us. And I love Rocky Raccoon. Rocky Raccoon's brilliant. My sort of silly puppet. Look at this. This is amazing. And Marvin's like, oh, should we do it? Should we do it? And yeah, I think we should do it. I think we give it a go. Because the beauty of Hamleys is you can do Marvin could do a run of something, try it, and if there's a fly, you carry on with it. If it's not, you've sold through it. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Hamleys is so versatile like that. Absolutely brilliant. So, Dave Williamson comes over, and he's doing Rocky Raccoon, and he is hysterical. He's got his shorts on. He's got the safari boots on. He's not doing it half-hearted. He's living the dream. He's doing a brilliant job, selling loads of Rocky Raccoons, and it was just wonderful to watch. And then you're like, this is, and then you try and copy it and try and do the same. But it shows you've got to be passionate if you're going to sell something. You've got to be passionate. You've got to show the customer why you love it. You've got to tell them that they're going to buy it. They're going to tell them. It's no good them guessing. You've got to tell them what to think. So, changing the subject a little bit, when we get magicians working for us, I hate magicians. When they were
hang on a minute, rewind. You probably work with more magicians than anyone, and you hate magicians. Why do you hate magicians?
Anyway,
They're
they just
boring.
drive me mad. Oh God, they think they know it all and they don't.
Well, don't you work with them at the worst possible
Yeah, I
time
know.
as well, don't you? When they're teenagers and they're absolutely full of themselves.
Anyway, and they come in. Some of them are brilliant. What you learn from Andy Nyman. Anyway, Dave Williamson. So he's doing a Rocky Raccoon, and it's wonderful and it's brilliant. And we've made some video for Marvin, and that was a brilliant experience. But to watch Dave Williamson and he's everybody's favourite magician. But for Rocky, what magic is this? Is him that he's the favourite magician for? Not his tricks, and the magicians are bogged down with the tricks all the time. There's no anticipation with the magic. There's no moment of wonder when they perform, and they don't. Oh, it drives me crazy. It drives me crazy. I train them just to say wow. I have to tell them, because the problem with watching Guy Hollingsworth last night at the Circle. Did you see him now?
I wasn't here, no.
Brilliant. Because he gets his applause cues. And everybody claps and cheers, and he's a lovely chap. In Hamleys, people don't react. Yes, because they close their body language, and they don't want to show their vulnerability. They don't want to show how they're feeling, because they know they're going to be sold to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you have to react to the effect. Yeah. So you make money. Oh wow. Because if you don't go wow, it's like watching a comedy program. It's like watching a comedy program without the canned laughter. Canned laughter can be annoying, but if it's taken away altogether, it's dead. It's lost.
Mm-hmm.
So you're watching these kids coming in, and they're doing their ambitious card routine at their interview, because I want them to do magic. I had a lad in, all of them, and I'm going, right, do it again. So it tends to be not an interview; it tends to be a training session. Even today, I did a training session. The interview turned out to be a training session, and I just say, you've done magic. When I was young, I was more the magician, so you've got to react to the trick. You can't just do the trick, you've got to react to it. You've got to be surprised by it as the audience. If you're expecting it to happen, what's the acting? If you're a magician playing the part of if you're an actor as a magician playing the part of an actor, whichever way it is. Magician is an actor playing the part of a magician. Yes? So what acting are you doing? Well, you've got to believe there could be a certain amount of failure. If you're not quite sure it's going to work, you can react to it. So you've got your anticipation, because is it going to work, isn't it? Oh, it works. You're surprised. You're relieved. You can pat yourself on the back then. But if you're expecting it to work, and you're pleased, then you're smug. And everybody worries about being a smug magician. Yeah, that's the number one sin. You mustn't be smug. Mustn't be smug if you do. How can you not be smug? I've just done a trick. Of course I'm smug. I've got to smile like a Cheshire cat. I fooled you. No, that's brilliant. But if you're reacting, if there's a certain amount of, has it worked? Oh, it has worked. It's like playing football. All footballers are playing football, they're not scoring goals, they're trying to score goals, and it's the trying that makes it entertaining. Then when they score the goal, because they've tried so hard with the training, with the setup, with the tactics, with the effort that's gone into it, effort that's entertaining, they're allowed to pat themselves on the back. They're not being smug. They well-deserved reward. They will give themselves for achieving what they want to achieve. If you've not put the effort into the magic, if there's no effort in making that person float or sawing somebody enough, you're just doing it, there's no effort, there's no try, no hope, then what acting is there? Just try, and I see that, and I tell them, and then they come along and they're doing their tricks. This is, magicians. They've had lessons. I don't see why every magician doesn't see what I've just said, what I've just seen. There's more, because I know nothing. Because there's 6 billion people in the world. I know that much.
That's a small amount.
That's a small amount. Bruce holding 2 fingers slightly apart.
It's a podcast, by the way.
Is it not live?
Yeah, no, it's
the size of that. It's the size of an atom. I know nothing in comparison, because I'm all self-taught. But when you're training, you learn so much, because you're going, well, I do this because, and then you realise there's a because. And then the because becomes a because and a because and a because. And then it gets more and more tuned. And then I'm doing my demonstration, I'm doing my training, I think I know everything, I'm brilliant, I'm amazing. And then along comes a new demonstrator, Hamid, and he goes, no, you're wrong. And I'm like, what? Yeah, you're wrong. You should never say it's easy when you're doing the magic. Really? Yeah, because I'm saying it's easy. It's like saying, I'm clever, you're stupid. People don't want to buy easy magic. People want to buy amazing magic. People want to buy incredible magic, fantastic magic, wonderful magic. That's what they want, and that's what magic's all about. That's what makes it special. Magic's an emotion.
So going back to Marvin, you don't have much to do with Marvin then? Is he not really too involved anymore, or?
Too involved? Oh, Marvin's heavily involved. Heavily involved. He's the CEO. He's working. But I'm just left to get on with my. Hamleys don't talk to me from one year to the next. So yeah.
Is it true that when you go in the gate of his house, there's still half an hour to go until you get to the house?
I've not been to the house.
Oh, right, okay.
Old house I went to, but not been to the new house.
What's the most popular Marvin's magic trick? What one do you sell the most of?
Dynamic coins. 50 greatest magic tricks is the best.
The 50 greatest magic tricks are the most popular, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And the drawing board, obviously, does that outsell everything? It's not a magic trick, but...
Drawing board is the whole basis for being. Drawing board is... Marvin's... Yeah. Drawing board is amazing because it outsells... It's drawing board is genius. Because... if you're a salesman, that drawing board will bring it out. Yeah, we had there's a fella in Hamleys, Regent, who's a god in demonstration, absolutely brilliant, best demonstrator ever. And he used to demonstrate the magic. And the trainer, the boss would go, Richard, can you do boards for me? Oh, blooming boards! I don't want to do boards. And he'd do boards for the day because the boards demonstrator was ill. Boards demonstrator's ill. Richard, can you do boards for us? Oh, and every time he did boards, he actually sold more boards than the guy who was supposed to be doing the demonstration of the drawing boards. He found he had a skill for it. He found he wasn't just a magician. He could sell stuff, and that was amazing. And people look at it. He sells remote control cars. He sells anything, arts and crafts, toys. And he just looks at the customer and goes, you're going to buy one of these in 20 minutes. Everybody does. That's his opening line.
That's brilliant.
You're going to buy this. And when we watch him, and I'm there with his wife now, and we're talking, how does he do it? People are standing there watching his dem, and he's just starting to say, oh, you're going to buy one of these when I finish this. How can you say that? And they all walk off, going, I've got this in my hand. The art of demonstration is to just answer all the questions before they're asked, and if you can remove all the reasons not to buy it. Don't give reasons to people to buy it because they already like it, they're already watching it. Yeah? But if you can remove all the reasons why people don't buy it, or the excuses, all the if you can remove that, they'll buy it. That's why Dynamo's so brilliant. There's no reason not to like him. That's why David Blaine's so brilliant. I can't think. I've watched him. David Blaine starts off, and he's like, all the magicians are whinging and moaning at him. Yes, and he's been on the television the night before, and I'm taking the mick out of him as well. And customers get really shirty. They were getting really defensive of David Blaine. Nobody ever got defensive of Paul Daniels. But they got really defensive because there's no reason for them to dislike what David Blaine was doing or saying, or his approach or his mannerisms. Don't think he had much in the pot that we would consider, like Faye or Dave Williamson, but there's no actual ammunition to throw at David Blaine because he was just it. It's genius, so clever.
How has it changed, Bruce, over the 30-odd years? In terms of selling it, has it changed? Has there been a change, or is it still very much today what it was when you started in terms of demonstrating magic to the public and selling it to them?
There's a structure to it. There's a structure to it, and the system is a system that I teach. And I think if everybody follows this system, they'll all get success to a certain degree, bigger degree. If they stick to the script, they'll get success. If they don't stick to the script, they won't get success. Problem is, you can give people the script, but they don't always take it. But if they do the script, they will sell. That's all that goes to it. It's genius, because I know everything. It kills me how much I know. It's too much I know. I just know too much. All right? Way too much. And I think about it too much. That's all I think about. You're on a train, you get so much commuting time. It's all you think about. Think about the job all the time. Think about this interview. What can I do at the interview? Yes? So, the job is not changed, but the problem is, I've seen Andy Nyman. I've seen Anthony Davis. I've seen Paul Hawkyard. I've seen Lee Thompson. I've seen John White. There are more people than the 5 that everybody goes on about who were amazing. Steve Hamilton.
Who was the best?
Who's the best at what?
Who was the best demonstrator you ever worked with? Like
Richard Meyer.
Richard Meyer.
Richard Meyer's God. Richard Meyer's amazing.
And of the names that people would know who a magician.
Andy Nyman was awesome.
Was he?
Awesome. What problem? Andy, I remember his first day. I don't know where he got his dem from. I don't know where his script came from. But he'd be on the stand first day, and you could hear him right across the floor. That tone of voice. Holy Caroli, it's a miracle! You could hear him right across the floor, shop floor, and end of the week he'll burn out. But he didn't burn out. He used to go home at 4, but he didn't burn out. He always had that energy. Oh, used to be revolting. He used to clean his nails. You've been with Andy? He used to stand there cleaning his nails and cutting his nails in front of you. I wasn't very nice. But, and he'd always be eating mints. He's paranoid about having clean nails, eating mints. He's always got to be presentable. He's always got to be everything you can do to get that sale. But his dem was perfect dem. I similar dem to I do now. I can go straight into his demonstration. He did it at the Magic Circle, and I was doing it word for word with him, and people still, in homage to Andy, still say "Holy Caroli," "Holy Caroli," because that is a reaction to the situation. It makes them smile. If you're not making the customer smile, there's no point doing it. You've got to do everything you can to get that smile, because then you know you've connected, and then you know you're beginning to gain their trust. Because a smiling customer is a buying customer. They're stopping. They've got all their body length. If they're all arms folding, legs folding, frowning, that means they're thinking too much. And you've got to break into their preoccupation. You've got to get rid of that inner dialogue in their head. You've got to get rid of that. All magicians, all entertainers have got to get rid of that inner thought in their head. You've got to become the only... Because at the moment there's 2 conversations in this room. There's one I'm doing, and there's one you're thinking. In your head, you're thinking,
yeah.
You're timing it, is Bruce saying the right thing? Where's he going with this? I don't understand what Bruce is talking, whatever it is, I want my dinner. All right? As the entertainer, you've got to get rid of that thought in their head. If you can get rid of that thought in their head, if you can become their ego, that inner voice, they'll take to you. Watching Dave Williamson, you don't have an inner thought. You're not thinking about your dinner. You're just watching him. Everything. He is everything in your mind.
Mm.
So problem is with the new demonstrators, I've seen Andy Nyman, I've seen Marc Paul, I've seen all these wonderful people, and trying to explain that to new demonstrators is impossible. So it's a bit... I'm glad I worked with them. It's brilliant. But it's only me left. And I'm... Oh.
I've got to ask you, Bruce, a bit of a deeper question, but do you kind of look at some of the young... people that now turned into stars that have come through? Do you sort of wish you'd have left and done your own thing? Because you're a magician in your own right.
I love magic. We were considering it. Me and Matt Donald. Best linking rings routine ever is one I've got of me and Matt Donald in the staff canteen messing about with the rings. He's got a set of rings, I've got a set of rings, and the routine is I'm teaching him how to do magic with the rings. And it's just lovely routine. It's funny, sweet. Matt's a very funny person, very physical theatre, great character. Everybody loves Matt. And so we came up with a plot to do a show. We had script writers, we had a producer, we had a director, we even had a venue. Problem is, we've also got responsibilities. We've got married life. Do we take that all away to do this project? We had scripts written. Scripts were written. We had choice of scripts that we could have done. And it was about me being the old magician and being the young magician, very much the scenario, me teaching him magic. So the script was done, but we just can't do it. we got responsibility. We got, I got a lovely wife. I got wonderful children. I got things. I'm not ambitious enough to do. I don't know what I want. I'm not ambitious enough. But to be honest, being in Hamleys is a double-edged sword. It's a pain in the arse. It's up and down, big time. Because people ask me all the time, what's it like working in Hamleys? Oh, you must be so bored. And I'm like, well, I wasn't bored until I spoke to you, actually. Go away. I was fine until 2 minutes ago. But people do worry about my health. But it is a West End story. It is in the middle of it. So you can put on, I can get my fix of doing a magic show quite easily. Now you can do anything. When I had my wedding ring, I used to stand on the shop floor and I used to put on the end of my nose. Stand there with a ring on the end of my nose, and within seconds you've got 20 people watching you. I get more people watching me with a ring on the end of my nose than trying to pull a picture with a magic trick. And the idea then is to try and catch the ring on your tongue. Stick your tongue out and you twiddle your nose and try and catch because you can in Hamleys. If you didn't do it, you look strange.
Yeah.
But it was always I always tried, but I'm not. I can't phone agents. I can't. People have promised. The people have wanted to be my agent, try and get me gigs, but the only person that's going to look after you is you. Nobody else is going to look after you. I thought, somebody will take me on and they'll do this and this and this and I'll be fine. But I'm not, sponge balls, invisible deck. What I think you need to have a bit more armoury. I think the other magicians you speak to they scare me. That's the problem is. They're quite competitive, and it's the reading that makes me scared of my own shadow. When you spoke to Paul Daniels, you go read a book, read all these books, read all those books. I haven't read a book in my life. Hysterical, because I was asked to write a book. Yeah, you've written books.
No, I found them on Amazon.
Oh yeah, so I was hysterical. I'm doing a party, and these people come over. We're looking for a magician. We need somebody to write a book for us. I go, yeah, sure. I work for Marvin's Magic. We can do all that. Yeah, speak to Marvin. No, want you to write a book for us. Yeah. If you speak to Marvin's Magic, want you to write a book. Can you, Bruce Smith, write a book? Now, my dad always said, say yes to everything. Worst piece of advice ever. So I said, yes, of course I can. Of course, no problem at all. So they gave me a card, and I'm on the phone to Mum and Dad, and they're falling about laughing. You're going to write a book? Yeah, I've been asked to write a book. You've never read a book I've never read a book in my life. 4 at school. I've read Harry Potter. That's it. I try. Oh, my heart is willing, but I can't do it. I really can't. So I'm writing. So I'm having these interviews with these people. Oh, Bruce, can you do this? So they were so keen for me to write this book. So I'm right. So I've had a meeting with them.
Did you get paid a fortune?
Nah, it's rubbish.
Was it rubbish?
Yeah. So it was good. It was all right, but no, nothing enough to retire on. So I'm thinking, what can I do? So I phone Marc Paul. Hello, I've been asked to do this book. All right, yeah. Can you help? Yeah. Well, so we did a brainstorming. So me, Marc Paul, Anthony Owen.
There you go.
That's not bad, good, is it?
Yeah.
Not bad at all. So we're all having a meal together, have a chat. And we're designing brand new magic. Wonderful. Brainstorming new tricks. Got a mug, you break the handle off the mug, you put the handle back on the mug. So it's all brand new. You go to a telephone box, there's no money in the telephone box. You click your fingers, there's money in the telephone box. So you can making brand new effects, 20 brand new effects in an hour and a bit. And a method as well, which is what the spec was. Went to the people, right, we're doing this now. And every time they showed me, they go, we got a writer already. If he's successful, if this book is successful, we want you to do a book as well. So every time they show me a few pages. All right. So I'm going back into all summer with Easter, and I'm getting fed up with it. I'm like, oh, this is wasting my time. They're just showing me this. They're changing the parameters. Drives me crazy. So, Bruce, can you, just like the Michael Jackson thing, Bruce, November time, can you come up? Oh, all right then. You know, we've shown you this book. Yes. That this magician's writing for us. Yes. You know these pages we keep showing you? Yes. That's all he's written. All this time I've been going for these meetings with this book that this other magician's supposed to... He's only done 4 pages. This book they want done for February. Now, if you look online, there's 4 80-page books. Yeah? Ring and rope, coin, handkerchief, card. But that's only half of it. There are another 4 books that we wrote as well. By February, November, working in Hamleys.
Over
Christmas gigs.
Christmas retail, that's the place. Busy.
So I'm like, Marc, Paul, Anthony, so 3 of us got together, and it was... Oh. But it's not a case of just writing the book. The book had to be 80 pages long. Each trick had to be 4 pages, not 5. Each page had to be 4 pages long, and half of it had to be pictures. What? How do you... Can you... Because you put an 80-page book with magic, easy. Oh, this trick, I'll just put them in. Done. But each trick had to be exactly the same length. And then we had to do the drawings. We had to do what pictures we wanted. And then they go, yeah, but if you're holding a card like this with your hands, in a dealing position, say, for a pack of cards, then we want to use that same hand with a coin or a handkerchief. So then you had to design the hand to go with loads, so it's used about 10 different times, that one picture, in about 10 different other tricks. So they're saving on...
Yeah.
Blimey! In November, in Hamleys. And they had to have 8 80-page books done. It's crazy. Good fun.
Should we play word association?
Oh no, go on then. I don't need words.
I'll throw some names at you.
Drugs.
You just tell. You just tell me what you. Give me a little sentence or so on each. Person. Start Marvin Burglass.
Genius. He's done so much for magic, and he lets me get on with what I like doing. He looks after me. He knows I love my job. That's brilliant. I've been all over the world with Marvin. I did sent me out to Qatar, doing linking rings, 10 million people, live audience. With Justin. Justin's amazing. Do you know Justin Moynihan?
I know his name.
Wonderful magician. He's top man. He designs all Marvin's products. He does all the packaging. Absolutely brilliant. No, Marvin's interesting person. Amazing. Full of energy. And heart's in the right place. He knows his stuff. Intelligent. Genius.
Stephen Mulhern.
Stephen, I love Stephen. Stephen's very funny, very sweet. He came in, did work experience with me, and but again, he's a workaholic, amazing. And Andrew, Paul Andrews. You know Paul Andrews?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was his producer, director with him, worked with him. Genius, because he worked with Marc Paul. So no, it's good stuff. People like magic, but. What gets me is Stephen's not done the X Factor. He's not done magic on his own show. If Stephen's not going to do magic on Britain's Got Talent, or why? It worries me that other magicians are brave enough. Luckily, Jamie Raven and all these people have done it and have done good. But it's a big thing.
Marc Paul.
Funny. Marc Paul. Hi guys, show you this is amazing. Good manager. No, good player. No, we like Marc. Oh, poor Marc. I go to Nuremberg. I love Nuremberg for the toy fairs. Used to go every year. Big crowd. Marc Paul. So we're on a stand. We've got Marvin's Magic stand, and we're sharing a stand with another company because we're only a little company at the beginning. And I'm on the stand with Marc Paul and a few other people, and the trade show is empty. There's nobody about, and I've got a brilliant radio effect. Yes, where you can make things sound like they're radio. Have you seen this?
Yes. Yeah.
So you've got the radio stuff down the front of your trousers. You've got a contact on your belt. You breathe out, the contact connects. You can hear the radio. All right. So I'm playing with this thing. I think it's funny. Anything like that. Squeakers, Dave Williams squeakers. I love all that nonsense. So I'm doing this radio. I've got a magic wand on the stand. I'm turning the magic wand on. It sounds like a radio. I turn it off. Radio's gone off. Brilliant. Nobody about. And about 20 Chinese, Japanese, whatever, suited and booted, looking really, really smart, are walking towards us. So I'm there, behind the stand. Marc's chatting with other people on the stand. Nobody else about. Fair's empty. And I'm picking up the magic wand. I'm turning it. It's becoming a radio. I'm turning it off. The radio's gone off. Funny. It tickles me. I can do that all day. On, la, off. Uncle the delegation. And I do it one more time. They're as close as you are now. Boop, on it goes. Radio's on. La, turn it off. Radio's off. And they look at this and they pick up the wand. They look at the wand. They look at the end. Oh, and they realise the end just comes off. Yeah? And they look in the wand and there's nothing in there. They put the wand on. And then he runs. This guy takes this wand and runs with my wand, grabs it, disappears over the other side. All of them run after him because they think they've got brand new technology. They think they've got, oh my God, what is this?
That's brilliant.
And Marc Paul's, we're falling about laughing, and Marc Paul's chasing after them to get my magic wand back. Oh, funny. No, Marc's great. I love Marc.
Anthony Owen.
Anthony Owen. Oh, he's a fan. Why are you saying these people? All the famous ones. Anthony, I know Anthony as Anthony. I know him as just a geeky little lad who loves his magic. And now he's all sophisticated. And I remember Anthony come in. Anthony comes in. He's doing filming on the Kingly Street. And he comes over. And, hello, Bruce. Hello, Anthony. Yeah, how are you? Yeah, not bad. Good. Business all right? How you still in Hamleys? Yes, I'm still in Hamleys. And, we're just doing some filming with Darren Brown. All right, yeah. Yeah, I know, series 2 or something. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get much more out of this. I think we're only get a couple more shows out of this Darren Brown thing now. And what's that, 15 years later, and it's still gone from even better. So, it's amazing what you can do. It's wonderful what you can do.
Doesn't time fly?
Is
I
it?
believe this is it. We've already run way over, guys. So I'm going to have to edit this down.
Oh no!
But so we'll end with the final question, Bruce, which is, what do you think is the biggest problem with magic today, and how can it be fixed?
Biggest problem? I think magic's amazing. I think magic's amazing. I think people want to explore it a bit more, and everyone to be themselves. I think there's too much advice by magicians. Yes.
Careful! I'm literally, this is what this podcast is all about.
No. It's not. No. You don't. No. You don't want to give anyone because if you give people advice, they might take it on board. What you want to do is give people choices. If you give them a choice, if they're just doing something because that's what they do, that's not a choice. That is just what they're doing. But if they go, well, actually, I can go wow, or I can go and swear, or I can go silent, or I can walk off stage. Dynamo walks off. He walks off every time. Yeah? Now, is that because he's chosen to walk off, or because that's only what he does? Yeah? But if he's got a choice, he can walk off stage. He could disappear. He could scream. I love it if Dynamo screams. Wouldn't it be, it'd be so out there. But if you've got a choice of how to react to the trick, not just do it because that's what you do, but if you have a choice of what to do, how to be amazing, when to be quiet, not just because. That's why, if you're having a card signed for an ambitious card routine, why is it signed? To prove that there's only one, but the only audience don't care. They only assume there's one. So if you do what I would do, do the ambitious card routine, and then let that thought for the audience realise, hang on, there could be 2. Oh, you think there's 2? You think I'm using 2 3 of clubs? Oh, okay. What can we do? oh, I hate doing this, you're going to have to write on that card. Because people don't write, you're going to have to write on that. Make it dramatic. You're going to have to write on.
It's also a lovely thing as well, as it makes it feel different. Like you're not just doing it for this group and in a minute you're going to go off and do it for that group. It's
sign the card for me so they see, there's only one card like that in the pack. And but you're saying that because everybody, the first person that said it's probably brilliant.
Yeah.
But everybody says it because they say it instead of rather, well, what are the choices I've got? I could staple it. I could do something, but I don't see the point in signing the card when you can do so much more theatre with it. But magic's great. I think magic's amazing. Magic's amazing. Nothing wrong with magic. Some of the people, yeah, but magic's great. Magic itself is incredible. People love magic.
Bruce, this has been really great fun. Thanks so much for coming to talk to me. And,
that's all right, my pleasure.
Yeah, thanks again. That was Mr. Bruce Smith. The next time you are in London, go to Hamleys and watch him do his thing. No one does it better. Thanks very much for tuning in. I will see you again very soon after our mid-season break. Have a lovely Easter. Thanks again. Bye-bye.